Good morning, Rude Nation. You got your boys, the Rude Boys, ready for episode 27 of the Rude Boys Power Hour Plus.
Hopefully we don't die in this episode because, 27, a lot of famous people have died.
Oh,
Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin,
Okay.
Kurt Cobain, Jim Morrison.
I'm Sherm.
I'm Tom. Good start.
Yeah.
Good start.
Oh boy. I think we're gonna be with you, Rude Nation, for the long haul. All right.
Woo!
Yeah. No drug addiction or anything here that I know about.
Just video games and comics and
Just and talking to you, lovely people, for every other week here on the Rude Boys Power Hour Plus.
Woo.
It's high energy.
Woo! It's early.
It is early. Yes, we're recording on a beautiful Saturday morning. This is the day of for the wrestling fans out there. It's the All In pay-per-view, the special super indie wrestling promotion.
Or everyone's wrestling in it.
Pretty much, yeah. Everyone is all in.
Hey, I see what you did there.
And so we're recording now. It's early in the morning, so that's gonna really be a different kind of who's in your mouth. So who's in your mouth, Tom?
Some tasty 7-Eleven pumpkin spice with pumpkin spice creamer. It's goddamn delicious.
He's drinking out of a pumpkin too.
Yeah.
Ooh, that tasty gourd.
It's messy. It's messy. Yeah, I got a tasty gourd for the ladies.
Oh. I'm just drinking black coffee. Hot. I tried to chill it, but it's still very hot because there's no cream or anything in it. Right. But pumpkin, man, this is my favorite time.
Oh, yeah.
I love the pumpkin flavored stuff. Call me a basic bitch all you want. I don't care. It's delicious.
Supposedly there's some pumpkin frosted flakes out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Not a good time to diet.
No, it's not.
Everything's all pumpkin flavored.
Between now and Christmas, not a good time.
Yeah.
So.
Really, any time's not a good time to
No,
diet.
dieting sucks, but it's healthy for you.
No, it absolutely is.
But it sucks.
It does suck. Really kind of just tying my hands back here and not enjoying pumpkin flavored stuff, or then peppermint flavored stuff, or really any flavored stuff.
Yeah, I mean my way of dieting is like sometimes I just put the fork down and I look at myself and I'm like, you disgusting little pig. That's how I diet.
How's that worked out? It worked out.
You know what? It's worked out pretty well because I saw pictures for me for like a year and a half ago. And I look goddamn good right now.
Yeah, Tommy.
So
get on with your bad self.
Damn straight. So
right, for that, let's
do a
double thud. Ready?
Thud.
Thud it up.
Thud it up.
All right, Nation. This episode we're talking about Spider-Man. So we're hype for the PS4 game releasing this week. So we're just going to talk about Spider-Man. We don't talk about Spider-Man enough on this podcast,
no,
right?
No, definitely don't.
Definitely don't. So we're just going to dedicate a chunk of time to Spider-Man. Comics, costumes, characters, villains, everything in video games, the movies, the television cartoons, whatever. All about it. Spider-Man, all the time. Get ready for it.
All up in your webbing.
That out of the way. We got a pretty slimmed down version of Blitzkrieg. But let's hit it nonetheless, all right? Maybe we'll touch a little bit more on these topics. What do you say, Tommy?
Blitzkrieg! Game news. Streets of Rage 4 announced.
Yep.
I saw this, I saw that you put these notes up. I was like, shut the fuck up. Punch up Streets of Rage 4. Trailer comes up, I was like, god damn, I am stoked for that.
Yeah, as of recording right now, it's around the same time as PAX West, so there were some announcements and stuff like that. These are the highlights for the Rude Boys and the Rude Nation, but definitely check out the social media stuff. And yeah, Streets of Rage 4, that kind of came out of nowhere. I think maybe the fan support for Sonic Mania helped Sega take a look and be like, let's take a look at some of our old franchises.
Absolutely.
And then Streets of Rage is one of the more iconic Sega properties that hasn't been touched in, the 16-bit generation, unless there's been cameos or anything like that in something more recent. But this is done by, I honestly don't remember the name of the development team, but they've done beat-em-ups in the past. They're going for more of like a cel-shaded, hand-drawn art style, as
Which I
opposed
like.
to and it's good. It's actually because a lot of these retro throwback games are all just sprite-based,
Yeah.
which look nice and pretty, but they tend to
I
look
like
a
the
little
cel-shaded
samey.
shit.
Oh yeah, no,
I
and it
really
looks pretty
do.
cool. Out of like the 2 seconds of footage they showed,
Yeah.
it looks pretty cool. I've always been more of a Final Fight guy. I did play through Streets of Rage 2, which from what I hear, is the better of the three.
Yeah,
And,
I'll agree to that one.
But Final Fight, man, Final Fight all the way.
Final Fight was honestly probably the first arcade game that I ever fully beat.
Okay, sure.
In my tenure of arcade gaming.
Sure. I think mine might have been Simpsons, so still kind of with the beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Like that was a fucking classic genre back in the day.
I'd have to say Final Fight and the X-Men game were the first two beat 'em ups that I. And another one that I played.
Really?
Yes, the Spider-Man arcade game.
Ooh, we might talk about Spider-Man.
Yeah, ooh, are we?
We are. What else happening on Blitzkrieg?
Speaking of Spider-Man.
Speaking of Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4 that comes out
this week.
This week, as of recording, it is 20 plus hours.
That's a good amount of time.
And I believe that's just the actual gameplay.
That's a good chunk of time.
I'm alright with I don't feel bad about dropping $60 on this game and getting the DLC either.
Right.
I don't feel bad about it now because
good.
Games are like lately are just like, here you go, here's a game that's 6 hours, have fun, nerd, and then we'll release the rest of the fucking game in like through a 5-year fucking whatever.
Calendar,
fucking DLC.
Right, okay.
Yeah, goddamn.
Right. But you feel good about it. 20 hours, that's a really that's I would put that like at a medium range game. Like it's not like a 100-hour RPG and it's not like a 5-hour guided experience. So this is a good chunk of time. It sounds like just based off of a 20-hour game play, whatever, that, the campaign will probably be, I'd say maybe 15 to 20 plus all the other side missions and stuff like that. So, yes.
I'm very stoked.
Cannot wait. Did you hear about the controversy coming out of Spider-Man, the game?
Oh, that the graphics were downgraded a bit or some shit?
So in, I believe one of the initial videos that they released, you remember when Spider-Man is at a in construction building, and like apparently there's like these big, like it just rained or some shit, so there's puddles everywhere. From some of the screenshots, the puddles are smaller. So the fans, and I use that term loosely because they want to just bitch and moan, and you're not a fan obviously unless you bitch and moan about shit, but they're saying that it was a downgrade to the processing power or something like that because, like, reflections and shit, there's a lot of science going on between that stuff. So that's the controversy. People are talking about puddles, Tom.
Alright.
Here we go.
This is
Revved up.
Tom's Soapbox 1 of 2.
Oh, God.
Listen, you fucking nerds. If you're gonna cry about puddles, maybe the game isn't for you. How about you just return your pre-orders? If this is what's going to ruin the experience for you, then don't play it. Just save more copies for the true fans and go kill yourselves.
Wow, alright, that was a strong ending.
Yeah. Fucking I hate fans.
You know what I remember?
I hate fans as much as I hate celebrities that shoot their fucking mouths off.
Oh, here we go. Okay, hang
on. No.
Stifle, breathe.
I'm stifled.
This reminds me of, like, back in the day for Wii U. There was this the Miiverse. We've talked about that. It was like this big message board that was just connected for all the different Wii U's and different games. There was one user that every game that had some sort of water in it, he would grade the water. Like, he wasn't doing it out of spite, but it was just like,
that was just being a dick.
No, I don't think he was being a dick, but he was just like, every time, like, that Dog Rates Twitter account that, like, every, you don't? Okay. They basically, it's a picture of a cute dog, and then they rate it some godly number because it's a cute dog, you know what I mean? So this guy just went to every game that had some sort of body of water, and he would grade it. He was like, this water is amazing. Like, it's the best water I've seen. Like, and people got wise of his account, and would start posting this stuff. It's really funny. But, people are really big on water. Hey, fucking Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire remake got a 7.8 because there was too much water in the game. but people love the water.
Okay. Bunch of wet dream faggots. That was just said.
Yeah, it was just said.
By the way, that's only caffeine in me. It's no alcohol,
that is true.
okay?
That is true.
So let's get that straight.
Right, and if you're trying to shoot for the title, I don't think that's going to be it. Just saying it right now.
What, caffeine, not alcohol?
No,
or wet dream faggots?
Yep, that's the latter.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Shovel Knight. No, I'm not sorry. Fuck that. Shovel Knight to get 2 final updates and 3 amiibos and physical release on April 9th, 2019. Amiibo. Sorry, I put an S at the end of amiibo.
The proper pluralization of amiibo is amiibo. Just to let you know, gotta stay on brand. But yes, okay, Shovel Knight, a game that I think we both love. I
love that. I love my side scrollers.
Yeah,
I really do.
It's getting its two final expansions for what they are now calling Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. So
okay.
The first game proper was renamed or rebranded as Shovel of Hope. That's the Shovel Knight campaign.
Okay.
That I know you've played.
Yes.
There have been 2 other DLCs came after that, both one starring Plague Knight and one starring Spectre Knight. All free if you've ever purchased it at once or whatever. So that's great. And now coming, what was the date again? Was it April?
April 9th of 2019.
So in April of next year, you're going to be getting the final campaign chapter, which is King's Knight's story. I think it's called King of Cards.
Okay.
And it's also going to have what's called Shovel Knight Showdown, which is basically a 4-player Smash Brothers.
Yes.
With the Order of No Quarter and Shield Knight and Shovel Knight and the Black Knight and I think another character or something like that. But all of this stuff was promised and included from the initial Kickstarter campaign. So if you've ever purchased it on like Wii U or PS3 or 3DS, all of this stuff is just a free update. That's it. And you can get in on the ground floor, or actually not even the ground floor, but you can get in on the top floor April 9th because they're going to release a physical edition for Switch and the PS4. Again, this is the Treasure Trove version, so it's going to have every single bit of DLC. So all your updates and all your campaigns and Shovel Knight Showdown and stuff like that. I think with the exception of the 3DS, I don't think the 3DS is getting the Showdown one, probably just because it doesn't natively support 4 players.
Right.
And obviously you're going to get the amiibo too. There's a 3-pack amiibo of Plague, Spectre, and King Knight coming out alongside with the Shovel Knight amiibo that came out, I think, a year ago, 2 years ago, something like that. So
good thing I know.
Shovel Knight, baby.
Good thing I know a little boy's birthday is in April. Some little nutsack I know.
Some moron was born.
Some moron was born. Hey, no, tomorrow is, some moron was born. Nothing in comics. Nothing has really spurred out in the comic world. Surprisingly. No Marvel, DC, Universe reboots.
Right, yeah, not yet.
Not
today.
You know what? I'll talk about comics real quick.
Okay.
I've heard that the new story that Marvel's doing, Infinity Wars, is...
Infinity Warps?
Wars,
okay. Because I heard about the other thing. But
Infinity Wars is pretty insane because Gamora's trying to get the Soul Stone or something. She's a villain. Like,
I got a little bit of that.
Spoiler, she cut Thanos' head off.
That'll do it.
And then she... like, took her sword and, like, impaled Peter Quill, like, just...
So she went nuts.
Yeah. Apparently in the last issue she merged Doctor Strange and Captain America.
Right,
with the Reality Stone.
Right, because that leads into the miniseries or whatever called Infinity Warps, which is that... I don't remember any of the other warps that they have. Warps. Yeah, so it basically is merging, like from the 90s, early 2000s, the amalgam of DC and Marvel. This is now just 2 Marvel characters put together.
Interesting.
I know Captain America and Doctor Strange become one character.
Wow.
For the life of me, I cannot remember the other ones. I think there might have been, like, maybe Moon Knight and Spider-Man or something like that.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that,
That's odd.
I'm always down for that. Like, I love merging characters.
Mashups.
Excuse me, fusions and shit like that. Like, I love that junk.
Yeah, that's all I had for comics.
Okay, but it sounds like it's a pretty tense series.
Yeah.
Infinity Wars.
Yeah, from what I've seen, like, I'll watch my brother read it. I'm like, oh shit.
Okay. He still reads the weeklies?
Yeah.
Monthlies, whatever the fuck?
Yeah,
like he gets it through Comixology or Kindle something.
Yeah, I can't do it. Like,
I gotcha.
And it was funny because on this one group that I'm a part of on Stupid Book,
right,
is so many of us are like, I can't do weekly pickups.
Right.
It's just too. We
It's a
gotta
commitment, man.
We gotta wait until the graphic novels come,
It's an
like the
absolute
collections.
bro.
Like, I actually want.
understand.
I'm kind of itching to go to a shop soon.
Right.
I'm like, yeah.
Addiction. Well, we know the addiction now, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
seriously. All right, movies.
Movies.
Apparently, Alec Baldwin is going to be playing Thomas Wayne in the Joker movie.
Oh, is he now?
No, he stepped away.
Oh, he stepped away.
He stepped away the day after it was announced. Because apparently what they wanted to do was kind of make Thomas Wayne like an early 1980s Donald Trump.
Oh, really?
And he was just like, no, I'm not doing that.
Right.
Like, so yeah. That and also scheduling issues.
Well, I don't know much. Spoiler alert, Thomas and Martha Wayne both got killed.
Fuck.
I know.
Well, it depends what universe.
I don't want to
Are you talking about Flashpoint?
No, I'm talking
about
Flashpoint,
it was Bruce Wayne who dies. And then Thomas Wayne becomes Batman and Martha Wayne becomes Joker. There's no stopping when I'm going.
No, there's not.
So, but anyway, yes, they died.
Usually die. But what would their
DC proper.
Like what would their statuses? Would they just like how Bruce Wayne is a millionaire, playboy, philanthropist, or whatever? That's what the Waynes were. They weren't just like some secluded millionaire.
Oh yeah, no, they weren't like scumbags.
They were everywhere, and they just happened along the wrong alley.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Exactly. Right. So, but
I don't really know who they were before. They were just vehicles to make Batman sad.
Yeah. I mean, they have ties to, like, the Court of Owls, which they did a whole story of.
It was like their Illuminati.
Yeah. Well, the Court of Owls,
IRL Illuminati, not Marvel Illuminati.
Exactly. Yeah, nothing will touch that. What else we got? Matt Smith, who was a Doctor Who.
Yep. Who?
Burp. Is casted in episode 9 for a key role. Nothing much has else been said, which is cool. He's, he's a good actor.
Which one is Matt Smith? Matt Smith, the tall, doofy one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Not David Tennant.
Not David Tennant.
Not Chris Eccleston.
I don't know who that is.
Malekith from Thor: Dark World.
God. Yeah, no, I really don't know who that is.
All right.
All right, so that's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm sure someone will fucking whine about it.
Of course.
It'd be hard to find a sad Star Wars fan anywhere these days.
Really?
Yeah.
I hear that they're all happy and...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're all living in...
It's really hard to find a sad one because everyone is just so pleased in that fan base.
Yeah.
There's no harassment going on. No. There's no petitions going on. There's no idiots trying to remake a movie that, like, just fucking deal with it, guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I saw? Actually, we could add this to Blitzkrieg News. Did you know that before filming Episode 4, Mark Hamill never saw a Star Wars movie?
Oh, shit.
I know, right? Where's the uproar? Right?
I can't believe that.
I know. That's so... It really takes... I can't... There's no words.
Here's another uproar.
Okay.
I cannot believe that they're not going to be doing a sequel to Rogue One.
Yeah. That's money lost, Disney. What is wrong with you?
It really is.
I don't mean to... Disney, I'm sorry. Okay, we don't mean to be upset or call you out on anything. But that seems silly to me.
That there's no sequel.
Call me
old-fashioned. Call you jaded.
Yeah, but whatever. I'm not a businessman, movie producer, or anything like that.
No. Mm-hmm.
But all right, I guess I'll just leave it to the professionals.
Sure.
That's it. Speaking of professional,
Dave Bautista.
Here we go.
Shut the fuck up already, dude.
You want a little bit of context?
All right. This.
You want me to give him context while you're revving up the soapbox again?
If you want, yeah.
All right, so obviously one of the more vocal supporters for the whole James Gunn issue being fired, and basically Marvel, and I'd imagine Disney at some point. I think it's just Marvel Studios were wanting to sever all ties with James Gunn. Mm-hmm. They're standing by the initial decision, which, hey, fucked up or not, that's the rule from down high. Yeah, and
that's what the mouse said. That's what the mouse is doing.
Exactly. So the more vocal supporter would be James Gunn's buddy, Dave Bautista, who, I mean, don't get me wrong, like I'm sure Dave Bautista owes a lot to James Gunn for getting him into Guardians and making the Guardians such a successful franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we all know where he's coming from. Tom, take it away.
Dude, just shut the fuck up. No one cares about your bullshit Twitters that you keep putting out. Supposedly he gave away part of Avengers 4 saying that, hey, the Guardians of the Galaxy come back. No shit, so does Spider-Man, so does Black Panther. Because guess what, you fucking moron? They have those movies already set. Just shut up, dude. You were an very, very, very okay wrestler. Very okay. The only reason you got where you were is because you were blowing Triple H. Blowing him, taking full loads in his mouth. You're a mediocre actor playing a mediocre fucking character. Drax sucks, dude. He does nothing in the comics. You know who... He's as useless as Adam Warlock is. Point blank, period.
Man,
okay?
Adam Warlock.
So, Dave Bautista, you want to come at me and tweet how unhappy you are with this little rant? You can come at me on Twitter, you little bitch. Tommy_Cash. Cash with a K. You fuck.
Alright. You feel better?
Until I see something else. Until he puts something else up.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Alright, cool.
Nothing in TV.
Alright.
Nothing in wrestling. Toronto to get NXT
Takeover.
Takeover.
Yeah, so they're getting...
Survivor Series.
Nope. Oh, I wrote that. Yeah, sorry. So what they're getting is... They're getting...
This fucking guy.
They're getting 2019 SummerSlam that whole weekend. So they're going to get TakeOver, SummerSlam, Raw, and NXT, SmackDown. What?
In my defense...
It said SS.
It says SS, so...
Right, I'm
thinking,
sorry. I thought that news was a little more
for some reason, I put Toronto with Survivor Series. Like, I put Canada with Survivor Series.
Yep. All right. No, I understand.
You know,
completely.
So that's why I got a little confused.
So this is big because I mean they don't really do the big ones much more overseas. I mean maybe Survivor Series, but this is big because I mean it's going to have the 4-day event of the Saturday Takeover, the Sunday SummerSlam, and Raw and SmackDown afterwards. So that's pretty cool. That should be a fun show because Canadian shows are always, it's bizarro land, as they say, because they like to cheer whoever they want and maybe not the good guys. So
yeah, that's fun. Speaking of bad people who are getting cheered like a motherfucker in wrestling, Becky Lynch, man.
How's she going with her heel turn or whatever?
She's supposed people are like, yo, she's like a female Austin. Like, she beat the shit out of Charlotte after Charlotte successfully defended against Carmella this past Tuesday.
Sure.
She gets on the mic and holds the belt over like Charlotte's fallen body and just goes, "TikTok, bitch." I'm just like, wow, that's, you know what? Good. I'm really glad that they went with turning her heel. We've seen heel Charlotte.
Sure.
I
think I read this on one of the news sites, but I know they were trying to do like neither one is good or neither one is heel or face. It's just a matter of they're both fighting over the championship.
Okay.
Because they both have very good points. They both have their own faults, and I think they're going to try to do this. And thank God, because I know as performers Charlotte and Becky are tops in the women's division currently, and I know SmackDown kind of needs a little bit of a kick in the butt to make itself watchable.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Good for her.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I
because if this pushes her up towards the spotlight, then heck yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree 100%. And I've been a Becky Lynch fan since NXT. I think she has great talent.
Right.
She's good on the mic, and she wrestles really well.
That was very PG, Tom.
We're in a PG era, Christopher.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, All In. You want to talk about this for a little bit? Yeah, we'll talk about
All In, because this will be completely over by the time the nation hears it. But hey, I'm fine with this. I will probably have nothing to contribute, because I don't know a lot of these people.
I'm just running through the matches real quick, so...
Just, if you want to hit some of the highlights. If it's
Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr., which is pretty cool.
What's up with Kenny? like, is he going to be still contracted to New Japan? Because I think there's a lot of articles coming up that's saying that
he has
it
a
is
2 year.
year.
He has a 2 year contract.
Because I think people, I guess he's pretty much hit the tops. He's still the IWGP champion,
I believe
right?
so. Yeah.
Okay, so. But I think everyone is still like, oh, he's hit this level. What's next? What's next? What's next? Especially with, like, you know, you have this show All In. And
right.
Stuff like that,
Exactly.
So. But anyway, I'm sorry. So yeah, Kenny versus Pentagon Jr. I know Pentagon Jr. has been getting a lot of fucking momentum.
Yeah.
Especially from Lucha Underground and Impact and
yep.
you know, other AAA. I think he's affiliated with. So that should be pretty cool. It's just a regular singles match.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They have this thing called the Over Budget Battle Royale, and the winner is the #1 contender to face Jay Lethal for the
Ring of Honor.
For the Ring of Honor World Championship match.
Is that something they're having on that event?
Yeah.
Okay, or had on the event?
Right, yeah, because this is a combination of New Japan, Ring of Honor. It seems like Impact, Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
So
hey, dude, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty cool.
Right.
Having a 4-way women's match, Madison Rayne versus Britt Baker versus Chelsea Green versus Tessa Blanchard.
I know Tessa's got a lot of momentum.
She just won the TNA Women's title on Thursday.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was cute. Good match. No, actually, it was a triple threat, and it was actually a very good match.
Okay, that's cool. We don't have to go through the whole matches. We could just hit, you know, like the bigger ones that.
But they're all big though. That's the thing.
No, they definitely went all out for All In.
You got the Briscoe brothers versus Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. Right. I don't know who Scorpio Sky is.
I know, like,
he sounds like a poor man's too cool Scorpio, too cold Scorpio.
Already, I'm sure Tom's.
Yeah, I'm already out.
No,
I'm all out on that match.
I know Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, and that dude. They make up like
SoCal
Uncensored or something.
Uncensored, yeah.
I'm making that
okay,
up.
cool. No,
So,
you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
That's
like
what they're called. Yeah. So next you got Christopher Daniels versus Stephen Amell.
Who, props for Stephen Amell, man. Like, I remember SummerSlam. It's got to be like 5 years ago at this point. Like, he worked like a amateur wrestler, but not a bullshit celebrity. And I know he loves the product, and he's good friends with Cody Rhodes. So, hell yeah, brother, get in that fucking square circle.
Yeah,
Let's
you got
fucking square up, brother.
Next, you got Rey Mysterio, Phoenix, and Bandito.
Sure.
With Theo Rossi, who was Juice from Sons of Anarchy. Shades from Luke Cage.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for translating it.
Thank you. The Golden versus the Golden Elite, Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, and Kota Ibushi in a 6-man tag.
Okay, that's cool. I don't know what that. I mean, Tommy, you're wearing a Bullet Club shirt right now. What is going on? Is the Bullet Club fine, as they say?
No,
it's not.
No, because you have the original. Like, there really are only right now in the Bullet Club. Like, you have what's called, you know, these clowns. You know, the Young Bucks,
the Elite.
Yeah, the Elite,
or the Golden Elite, I guess. Really. Which,
but
again,
like,
we want to talk about fusions. Like, they just combine tag names.
Right, but you also have like you know Kenny Omega's part of there, Marty Scurll, Cody. And then you have the original members still, Tama Tonga.
Right. Bad Luck Fale.
Yeah. They're called, and I think their youngest brother.
Okay.
I can't remember. But they're called the Firing Squad. And Haku is running with it because that's their father.
Yeah.
Yo, and Haku still has it, man.
Sure.
Like, Ming. If you wear
That's what his name, right?
Yes.
That's his name, right?
Yeah, totally. Ming the Relentless. That's what they called him in WCW. World Crappy Wrestling. So yeah, they're just beating the shit out of them. And apparently they're going to be in Chicago.
Okay.
So we'll see what the hell happens.
Gotcha.
Joey Janela.
Nope.
Don't really know. Versus Hangman Page in a Chicago street fight. I do know that they are scrambling. They were scrambling trying to get Punk involved. So who the fuck knows?
Yeah,
this is in Chicago.
He might be in the audience or something like that.
Okada versus Marty Scurll in a singles match.
Okay.
Which because Okada, he's called the Rainmaker.
Right, that guy. Okay. Gotcha.
So, like, people have just been making pictures where, like, he's, like, making it rain on Marty Scurll, and Marty
And
Scurll
he's got
just
the
puts the
umbrella.
umbrella up. I'm like, that's amazing.
All right.
And then the main event is Nick Aldis versus Cody Rhodes for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, which would be pretty cool, because I believe... Didn't Dusty Rhodes hold the NWA?
Oh, hell yeah.
So, yeah, that would be pretty cool if Cody wins.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely seeing a Cody victory in this case because of, just the heritage he has, obviously, and this is a big thing. And I don't want to be like, oh, he made the show, so he's going to put himself over. But, like...
He made the show, he's going to put himself over.
And, like, he should be rewarded for doing something like this. Yeah, absolutely. Like, he did this. Like, it's different to say, like, oh, Triple H booked the show or something, or he's banging the boss's daughter.
Right.
Because that's $1 million company.
Right.
Billion-dollar company.
This is a bunch
of dudes who put their own money, their own work, their own sweat, their tears, and they did this stuff. So he's the promoter, and like, maybe he shouldn't go over, but he should be rewarded.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
So, I will be probably watching this tonight.
Okay.
So, expect,
some tweets
about maybe some tweets, maybe and then next episode I'll give a little shout out and talk about the results and shit.
Sure.
So should be a good time, hopefully.
Right. And that was Blitzkrieg.
Woo!
So Tommy, tell the nation what you've been up to, buddy boy. Working. Slaving for the man. Making that bills.
Making those bills to pay those bills.
Gotcha. That's
what life is about right now.
I gotcha.
And just kind of trying to get stoked for Spider-Man.
You got the free time now. You're just like anything else. I mean, I know you're still playing like Overwatch and stuff like that, but like.
Oh yeah. The new season of Overwatch just started, so I've been kind of, killing it in that. Which surprisingly, I'm actually better when I've been drinking. Like last night.
I've been noticing that with games.
Like last night, I had a crap ton of rum. That's why I'm slightly hungover today.
Sure.
And I was just like, I'm gonna go piss off some nerds. I'm gonna go play Overwatch hammered. I was rocking it.
Nice.
Because they got this new thing where it's like you can endorse like players.
Okay.
And you get 50 points experience, and they get 50 points experience. And I got like, just boom, 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 like, 150 points. I was like, yeah.
Nice.
For good teammates.
Nice.
I'm a good teammate.
I'm a good boy.
Because I do my jobs.
Nice.
So, that's about that, man. And just, reading up on some Spider-Man lore and whatnot.
Sure,
and,
prepping for the episode.
Yep. And, shooting the shit with some people about Spider-Man stories.
And prep, so
and
good.
Such, and, having crazy ideas going.
Sure.
For upcoming episodes.
Right.
So.
Nice. So, I mean, in that same vein, I wasn't doing a whole lot this week either. I was on vacation.
Nice.
Out in beautiful Ocean City, Maryland. Weather held up. Gorgeous beaches, gorgeous water. Like, a lot of fun stuff to do.
That's awesome.
Me and the girlfriend are definitely going to go back. Hopefully sooner than later. But, like, when we had a little bit downtime, we would just be chilling in the hotel room. And on... I think it was the Paramount Network or something like that, which I guess was former Spike or maybe former G4. I don't remember.
Spike, you're correct.
A little cinematic classic called Spider-Man 3 was on.
I saw that, and I was like, nope.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about this in the episode coming up, but like watching it with my girlfriend, who is not a comic book movie fan. I mean, she's seen them, but not like, she's not like invested as much as we are. Man, just her face on some of the scenes, and we'll talk about it. But like that was a real dip in quality there.
I saw this
Spider-Man 3.
I saw this one thing when Sandman
flies away.
Yep. And they were like, "Yeah, Sandman did it before the snap."
Yeah, right.
And I was like, "That's all right. That's kind of funny."
We were talking about it because like my girlfriend saw it, and like she didn't really understand Sandman's powers, so I had to explain. He's like sentient sand, and he just flew away. The next scene they do is Harry's death scene, and I was joking around, and I was like, yeah, now he's gonna turn into sand, and she's like, what? And I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. Like, because, I mean, at that point, you're, fuck it, yeah, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, so, yeah, that was a bum out of a movie.
And honestly, I probably should have brought this up in Blitzkrieg.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that it seems like they're having some sort of Sinister Six showing up in Spider-Man Far From Home. Because you're
Well, I mean, they're
gonna have
there.
Mysterio in there.
Yep, Vulture's still
Vulture's
around.
gonna be there.
Scorpion is still, if they want to throw him in there.
Scorpion.
Right.
Hydro Man's gonna be involved. Apparently, Chameleon.
Right, yeah,
They're gonna be
there was someone who...
and someone that looked like, honestly, it looked like Smythe.
Yeah?
Alistair Smythe.
All right, let's we're right there. We're right there. We're right there for the Spider-Man talk. Something else I do want to mention, though, because, like, on the boardwalk in Ocean City, there's tons of arcades and stuff like that.
Nice.
I did... I don't want to say finally, because I wasn't looking for it. There was I think within a year of... since now, there was a new Ninja Turtles arcade game.
Okay.
Branded to the... Not the most current Ninja Turtle cartoon, but the one before that, the CG one.
Okay.
And it felt really good. Like, I mean, yeah, it was a new style.
Okay.
So it wasn't as... didn't have, like, that, classic crispness as the Konami ones or anything like that. But, like, really well done. Like, just an attack button, a punch button... I mean, attack button, a jump button, and what's called a turtle power, which is basically like the screen...
Okay.
Just, like, basically kills all the enemies on screen.
Kind of like the X-Men superpowers.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And, like, a lot of the same stuff. So I was playing as Raphael. Yeah. And my girlfriend was playing as Michelangelo. And a lot of the animations were very similar. Like, I remember in Turtles in Time, you could grab one of the foot soldiers and just kind of, like, slam them on each side of you. That's in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
We ended up fighting Rocksteady was the first... Bebop was the first boss. And he's jumping around on the screen. And, I mean, we didn't beat him because we were just playing for one credit just to kind of screw around.
Oh.
And he would start flash red when he was getting damaged.
Okay.
And it was
cool.
really cool. If, for whatever reason, I don't think it will anymore now that the Ninja Turtle branding is now a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you guys can see it in, like, a Fun Zone or a Dave & Buster's or something like that, that's probably in Dave & Buster's. Yeah. Definitely give it a shot.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. It scratched that nostalgia itch. I didn't get very far, but, what I liked, I played.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome that I like that series has gotten much more love than I thought. Like that
CG one?
That CG one.
Yeah.
Like my favorite is the 2008 one.
Which one? The one that was like on Fox or some shit?
Yeah,
big and bulky.
Yeah,
right.
I like that one because I felt the story was so like.
I know it was very lore heavy.
The storyline in that one was so goddamn good, and that's the one where then it got kicked over to Channel 11, and that's when they did the crossover between the 80s and that one.
Oh yeah, the Turtles Forever.
That was fucking awesome.
Well, they did that also in the CG one too.
Oh, they did?
They went back, to the 80s also. So I mean, that's a very deep well to hit.
Now, in the CG one, did they when they went back to the 80s, were they
a little bit of both?
Well, no,
I know what you're talking about.
They made the animation.
They animated the more modern Turtles to look like the 80s.
Okay.
And then they would then CG the 80s
classics.
Okay. So it was really well done. From what I saw, I did kind of fall off the series, but
yeah, there is a lot of hate for the new one coming out.
Because a lot of it's changed
it does look like garbage. I'm not gonna lie,
but it's not.
It's not aimed towards
exactly.
us,
Yeah.
Which honestly, if you're a 30-something-year-old man complaining about it, you have more issues than you think. Like, maybe you should get out of the basement and see the sunlight a little bit there, Junior, because I'm pretty sure your name is Junior if you're sitting there complaining about Ninja Turtles that are directed for children. And with that, that's why I've backed off on the whole Teen Titans Go. Because
you have, yeah.
It's not
for you.
It wasn't made for me.
Right.
It was made for younger kids.
It was to introduce a younger generation to that brand.
Right, which, a friend of mine, her kid was watching it, but then it spiked interest in the classic Teen Titans.
Sure.
And then Young Justice. So, it's a stepping stone to something better.
Absolutely.
So, again, if you're gonna cry about something aimed for children,
All right. Speaking about things aimed for children, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I'm not going to sing the whole thing. We're going to get hit by copyright or something, so... Let's talk about Spider-Man.
Fucking come at me. Tommy Cash.
Spider-Man for PS4 hits this week on Friday. Your boys are going to be doing a little bit of streaming on that, and we're going to just, we're going to keep it PG, because it's going to be waist up over here at the Rude Boys recording studio for that. It's you're not going to see anything below the belt. You don't want to see anything below the belt.
Man, I'm just going to be controlling with my dick.
That's how Tommy rolls. So so Spider-Man.
One ball on the buttons, the other one on on the Joy-Con.
So Spider-Man PS4.
That's what I call my dick.
Let's talk about the video games.
Absolutely.
With the video games. What was your first Spider-Man video game?
My first one, what? Genesis? They released one for Genesis.
Yes.
Where the wall crawling, like you were able to wall crawl, and then you would get as you're wall crawling, you're like, hey, I'm doing really good, and then fire would just come out of a window and knock your ass down. It's like, you motherfucker. But my all-time favorite that I would waste money on was the Spider-Man arcade game.
Yeah, that was my first one.
Where it was Spider-Man, Black Cat, Namor, and Hawkeye.
Yep.
Very weird grouping.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, the only two that should really, Spider-Man and Black Cat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which and again, it was probably right. I would have liked to have seen, Firestar and Iceman. That would have been very cool.
That would have been good. Would have tied into the cartoon.
Yes,
sure.
Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
Yep.
That
was my first one. Yeah, and it blew my mind. I remember, I was at a bowling alley for a party, a birthday party, and the whole screen scaling that they would do. You would end up fighting Venom in the first level, and then you would blow up, and then you would, get larger, and then the screen just kind of pulled back, and now you're tiny.
Yeah.
Running around the rooftops of New York City.
Yeah, I remember the arcade that I used to go to. You would have the Spider-Man arcade game, the X-Men arcade game, and the Avengers arcade game. And I'd just be like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
How do I play three at once?
I was overstimulated.
Oh, absolutely.
One of my favorites I would have to say is Maximum Carnage.
Yep.
Really.
That was the first one I owned, obviously, because it was the one that came to the home console that I owned.
Yeah, I remember first playing that. I was like, holy shit. Yep. This is really good, but this is really fucking hard.
Oh yeah,
it's classic. I don't think I've ever beaten it.
I beat it probably thanks to the Game Genie.
Okay.
I think last Replay May I did a whole bunch of Spider-Man games for Spider-Man, and I got to I think the last level and not the last level. I'm sorry, the second to last level, and that's just cheap because they just keep throwing thugs at you, and then all the other Carnage family members show up.
Right.
And then right at the end is the boss fight with Carnage, and I never got to the final boss fight. And this was my Game Genie was not working, so I was just on my own, trying to game the system. Did you know there was did you play on the Super Nintendo or the Genesis?
I thought they already released.
No,
Carnage
for both.
Oh no, I was Super Nintendo.
Okay, there is a secret level.
Okay.
I think it's a Super Nintendo version. It might be in the Genesis version, fully. But there's a secret in the Super Nintendo version when in the storyline Eddie Brock gets basically kidnapped by Carnage.
Okay.
In the comic book story, he ends up breaking out of the Statue of Liberty because that's where their home base is, and then goes to find Spider-Man or some shit. But in a game, there's a level that in the tiara of the Statue of Liberty, and I've never ever played it. Years and years and years. I've never played it. Even with cheats and shit like that, never played it. Apparently you're supposed to do this one sequence when they're doing the animated cutscenes, which is super cool. I remember having the comic next to me last May and playing the game, and just how good they digitized a lot of the cells. It was wow, they really did a good job doing this stuff. The one scene where Carnage is torturing Eddie with the Fantastic Four Sonic cannon.
Okay.
you can keep mashing the buttons, and then the symbiote off of Eddie tries to reach to the sonic cannon, which causes it to disrupt, and then basically give Venom the suit back. And then that leads into the secret level.
Interesting.
Because it's him fighting his way out. If you just kind of let the thing play out, you go to the level after that. But it was, again, something else. I was like, man, I've never been able to do that. In all the years of owning this game and loving this game, I never was able to do that. I didn't even know that you actually could. I thought it was a cutting room floor thing.
That sounds like a challenge we may have to try and do.
It's one of those things that you keep mashing the buttons, but you got to do it so fast because those are the same ones that go through the cutscene.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, but anyway, Maximum Carnage is a great game.
Maximum Carnage is a great game. You know what really, unfortunately, wasn't a great one?
What's that?
Arcade, Spider-Man and the X-Men, the arcade...
Arcade's Revenge or something like
Revenge.
that?
Yeah, I
didn't
dig it. Like, I played it for a little bit, and I was like, nah.
Right.
Nah.
I've always wanted to play Separation and Anxiety, which was like the pseudo-sequel to Maximum Carnage, even though storyline has nothing to do with Maximum Carnage. It's just like, I think the Spider-Man Venom story that took place around that same time. And honestly, I think it has more to do with the Lethal Protector series, because it deals with the 5 other symbiotes.
Okay.
But I've always wanted to play it. I heard it's not as good as Maximum Carnage, but, I mean, hey, I've never had an opportunity to play it.
I didn't even know that existed.
Right.
Tell you the damn truth.
The more you know.
Ooh. Ultimate Spider-Man.
Ultimate Spider-Man, okay.
Pretty fucking great. Released for the PS2, I believe.
Yeah, PS2, GameCube. I think that might have been it. I don't think
Maybe
it came out for
Xbox?
Xbox.
No?
Maybe.
Just so goddamn good.
Well, one step behind that. Before that, you had the Sam Raimi movie games. Actually, before that, you had the actually probably famous N64, PS1 Spider-Man game, which I never got a chance to play because my backwards compatible PS3 did not let that game run. But whatever. Did you play the Sam Raimi ones?
I want to say yes, I did actually. I remember. Yeah, I played the first and second one actually.
Okay, I remember people loving the shit out of the second one
because of all the free roaming you could do.
But I mean, and we're gonna maybe talk about it when we talk about the movies. But like I wasn't feeling those games. I don't know if it was because they were like trying oh, it's so seeped in realism, and I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. That's why I liked Ultimate Spider-Man more. Because it was the cell shaded
comic booky,
and like just the simple things of like when Spider-Man would hit like the peak of his swing, and he would just do random flips.
Yeah,
like I dug that. Like I didn't feel that in Spider-Man 2 or any of the other ones because it was just like ugh, but just how it was animated and how it looked, it was so fresh. I mean, I played that game also for Replay May, and a lot of that stuff is boring, not gonna lie, but the missions were fun.
Trying to race.
Constantly go from Queens, because I remember that game was like, oh man, they added Queens, so you have to commute basically from Queens to Manhattan to do your daily bugle missions, and I'm like, this is boring as shit, but swinging around, man, that was super fun.
Racing fucking Human Torch was such a pain in the ass.
Oh my god, I think I dropped the game my initial playthrough, like back in the day. You had to chase Venom.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, like it was the cameras and stuff. Like I mean, these were still
that was a pain in the ass.
Early 3D shit, and like they were still trying to get their shit together.
I think that's where I dropped it too, where you had to race Venom.
But I did that. I think that was like the second to last mission.
Right.
So I did that, and
nice.
Yeah. So that was cool. Did they introduce? I think they introduced Carnage in that too. I think they did this thing where you played as Venom, and then the Carnage symbiote attached to Spider-Man. I think.
Yeah, I don't
remember.
I don't recall.
But I think
you get worldwide information here at Root Boys.
Yeah, absolutely. What about Web of Shadows? Didn't you play Web of Shadows? Web of Shadows.
Briefly, yeah. Right, Web of Shadows was the one where it's like, it looks like symbiotes are taking over New York. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I played it briefly.
Right.
I think I rented it and then I never got to finish it because renting.
Right. Yeah, no, same ballpark. I didn't like it, but what I did like about it was that it might have been one of the last Spider-Man games to actually do that, up until maybe this new one, we'll see. where it included other Marvel characters.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
outside of just from the Spider-Man pantheon, like, you also had Wolverine, and you
Yes,
also had Luke
I
Cage.
believe the Thing as well.
Possibly, I
Maybe,
don't remember.
yeah.
But, yeah, no, that was cool. And I know that delved really deep into the morality system of, Spider-Man and the symbiote. You could do good things, you could do bad things like that. It has some ridiculous-looking cutscenes and QTEs that I've noticed, like this one where, like, you're supposed to chase Black Cat, but if you fail on every button prompt, you die. And there's actually, like, someone put a sequence of, like, okay, I hit this one, but I missed this one. Okay, so I hit the next two, but I missed the other one. And it's like wow, this is... All right, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But it does get a lot of good praise.
Yeah.
I did play, around the same time that came out, there's a game for the Xbox 360, I think maybe also Wii. It was called Spider-Man Friend or Foe. And what this was, it had sort of looking to the Sam Raimi stuff, but it was like kidified.
Okay.
And it was just a beat 'em up. And I played that with my nephew.
Nice.
And you would unlock, Green Goblin and New Goblin and Sandman and Venom and like a Black Cat and I think the Prowler and stuff like that. And they would all have their own range attacks, and you can upgrade them and shit like that. Like, it was pretty cute. It was fun to play with. I think I got it for $9 at GameStop. And, for playing that with my nephew at the time, had to have been like 7 or something like that.
It was good.
Perfect fun. And it was Spider-Man, so.
Exactly.
Can't argue with that.
Shattered Dimensions.
Shattered Dimensions is...
That might have been one of our first... well, we weren't calling it Rude Boys Game Club at the time.
Right, but we were definitely
playing at the same time.
Yeah.
That was so goddamn good.
Yep.
If I remember correctly...
As of now, that's my favorite Spider-Man game.
Yeah, 2000... I remember I wasn't huge with the 2099 stage I wasn't huge with, because I was like, I don't know, it just seemed...
Right.
I'm not a huge 2099 fan.
Sure. I think that's the one that the lore just kind of stands on its own. You know what I mean? Like, when you have... So you also have the Ultimate Universe, which is basically just a parallel to 616.
Yep.
And then you also have the Noir, which also pulls heavily from 616 because it's the same characters and stuff.
Right, you're right.
Not the same characters, I'm sorry, but the same archetypes and
right.
The names and the code words and shit like that. But 2099 is like, the Alchemix Corporation. And,
right.
You got
Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it doesn't... It stands on its own. Yeah. Like, they wanted to just be like... That was really like the first other universe Spider-Verse put out, right?
Like, we'll say that they did Spider-Verse before Spider-Verse.
But even Marvel too, right? Like, I mean, Marvel was just like, you know what? Oh, let's just push them into the future. And that's it. But then all the other universes they created after that were all like, oh, let's just kind of pull from here and there. Like, the lore stays the same. But yeah, no, speaking about Spider-Verse, that was definitely a prelude to the Spider-Verse comic book arc. And I know people don't really want to admit it, but it was. Yeah. I think there was a sort of stuff. Even the animated series, the last season, was very also Spider-Verse.
Absolutely.
Like, they pulled a lot of different Spider-Man from different versions.
Yeah, they did.
But right after that, you played Edge of Time, right?
Yeah.
That was just Spider-Man. Shattered Dimensions, take a step back. The Noir levels.
So good.
Oh my god, dude.
So goddamn good.
Like, you wanna play Spider-Man Arkham?
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Exactly. Hide in the shadows.
Oh my god.
I dug it.
Yeah, and he was voiced, the dude who voiced that Peter Parker was the same dude who voiced the early 90s Spider-Man animated series.
Okay, nice.
Which holds a deep place. A dear place in my heart.
Does it now?
It does. Yeah, shut up.
It does?
Yes,
really?
It does. Yeah, it does.
I wouldn't know.
Why?
I wouldn't know. I know some asshole bought it for you, but you never never got around to watching it.
Yeah. A lot of stuff, all right?
I'm
throwing it on. All right, stop.
Yeah,
But a lot of the voice actors, I know, the voice actors were pulled from other Spider-Man things. I think the 616 was Neil Patrick Harris, who did like that 8-episode Spider-Man.
Which I liked.
Cartoon,
I dug that.
The Ultimate was, I think, the Spectacular Spider-Man. Whatever more kiddie cartoon that was out at the same time.
Yeah. I think it was Spectacular.
And the dude who did, I think, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends was Spider-Man 2099.
Huh.
I think.
Interesting.
Either that or like the early ass fucking 60s cartoon. I don't remember. Yeah.
I thought Stan Lee voiced him in the
Stanley
early
was-
60s.
Oh, I don't think so. Stanley was the narrator.
Right,
Definitely.
yes. Yeah, you're right.
And David Kaye was Mysterio, who was Megatron in Beast Wars, and his voice is unmistakable. But the villains, dude, we got to talk about the one thing I love. So I love Spider-Man costumes.
Mm-hmm.
I love the lore, and I love villains.
Yes.
And this game hit everything.
Yes,
like
it
you
did.
had 3 villains for every universe, so 12 altogether.
Yep.
And that includes Mysterio. So like you got guys like Kraven, Juggernaut,
Yeah.
Deadpool from the for the Ultimate Universe, like Hobgoblin 2099, Sandman, like all these like cuts, and not all of them are like, oh, you gotta fight Dr. Octopus or the Green Goblin.
Right,
A lot
yeah.
of them were just like, oh shit, all right, cool. Like I gotta fight the Juggernaut, just like in that one issue of Spider-Man where, you know, he finally realizes, I don't know, some villains are too big for his britches.
Yes, yeah. He has to call in some help.
Exactly, man. That was such a dope game.
Yeah.
But Edge of Time.
Edge of
thoughts?
Time was, very...
Right. Very story heavy from what I understand.
Yes,
Because it was
yeah.
just the 616 Spider-Man and 2099.
Yeah, because it was like,
Excuse me.
pretty much like the, space and time was folding in on itself.
Sure.
Or some, and they had to, you had to work with 2099 on the side, from this side of 616.
Sure.
And, vice versa.
Right.
I played it and I finished it. When I finished it, I was like, thank God.
Right,
Like,
okay.
I really didn't dig it.
Wasn't feeling it?
Yeah, I think that was the last Spider-Man game I played.
Okay. I played the, what prompted last year's Replay May was playing Amazing Spider-Man. I was playing it on the Wii U, so the one's based off the Andrew Garfield.
Okay.
And that game was just gross.
Yeah.
It was just gross to look at. It wasn't fun. And I was like, you know what? I want to play some Spider-Man games that I like.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did. So it was Maximum Carnage. It was Shattered Dimensions. I downloaded a ROM of the fucking Spider-Man Cartoon Maker.
Nice.
Which was this, like... I have it right here. Oh, shit. And it hasn't gone really that far. This, like, little program on the computer that you can make little Spider-Man animations. And,
That's
man,
pretty
it
cool.
just does not hold up because I must run on some nonsense.
DOS.
Exactly, yeah. I feel like there was another game, but I do not remember.
Actually, I'm playing a Spider-Man game right now on the phone.
Oh,
the,
shit, yeah.
Spider-Man Run game.
That
right?
was the game we were playing at the same time,
I'm
yeah.
up to, the Electro chapter where, honestly, that game, it's fun. It's hard, though.
Right, yeah.
You're just like, shit,
Yeah.
like, and you just...
Ultimate Spider-Man was the other one, sorry.
Like, sometimes, like, you just, you feel like a fucking dumbass.
Right, well, because
when
it's
you-
Twitch-based,
Yeah.
for the
And-
most part.
Yeah, and you're just like, God damn it, I feel like a dumbass for getting hit by, like, that goblin bomb or some shit.
Right.
I hate having to chase the vulture. Like,
Right.
Vulture's a big pain in the
Yeah,
ass.
that was a game, like, because I think my phone was kind of on the downturn at that time, so I was like, I can't just keep wasting battery power and processing speed on this. But costumes, all that
Costumes
shit,
are
man.
a go-go. Like,
Yeah.
I have so many. Like, I got this one thing, like, this one costume called the Titan,
Okay.
where he's just like, it's this big green motherfucker with a tail. He looks like he should be in goddamn Atlantis, hanging out with Namor or
Right.
SpongeBob.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah, no, that's a shared universe now.
Yes. Fantastic.
Right, yeah. No, it was a fun game from what I played.
For a mobile game, it's,
Excuse me.
as I say about mobile games, it's a good toilet burner.
Yep. Let's go right into it. Costumes. Spider-Man costumes. I think
No.
we both love the Ridge,
Yep.
the one. You don't like the web.
I don't like
Wings.
that. Yeah, I
The
mean, that was
little web
introduced
underarms.
by the late, great Steve Ditko, I
Yeah.
believe.
Well, I mean, yeah, and fucking Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Fantasy.
Yes.
15.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
Good thing. You know?
Yes. Holding
Yeah.
the guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
well aware.
Okay.
Um,
Not a fan.
yeah, I don't know. I just like...
That was always a weird look. Like,
It's like,
I don't
dude, shave your
remember.
pits.
Right.
Something like, I don't know.
It was something because, like, when I started reading or looking at Spider-Man as a fan, the '90s cartoon definitely helped. I
Mm-hmm.
don't believe he had him there.
No.
So when I see, it was probably harder to animate. But when I see that now, it's still like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like when I see some Mark Bagley art, which I fucking love, and he's got the wings, and I'm like, yeah, Mark Bagley art. But yeah, I always keep forgetting that he has those until it's like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but
Right.
I mean,
it's iconic.
Yeah, sadly. I mean, we know my all-time favorite, the Sinbad.
Yeah,
that's just
up there.
And even even when he just throws on the black costume, you're like, oh,
time to fucking go,
sweetheart,
baby.
You're fucked.
Time to go.
Yeah, like Daddy's going to work.
Right.
You're the bad guys are fucked now. That's a great one.
Yep. Do you want to talk about other costumes of other Spider-Men?
Yeah.
Baby, because of the Mark Bagley art and the time I started being a bigger Spider-Man fan, Scarlet Spider.
Yep, there you go.
I know you don't like the exposed fucking web shooters or the hobo sweatshirt, but I don't know why, but that costume is just like, yes.
Yeah, even when Ben Reilly was running around in like a normal looking Spider-Man outfit, he had fucking web shooters on the outside. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you're exposing your greatest asset.
No, you got a good point.
Like, oh, Doc Ock's like, oh shit, let me just crush those. Oh, now you're covered in web fluid.
Right.
Like I am every night now.
Sure. Right. Okay.
So, like, it's just like, dude, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Right. I
Stop
understand.
getting in your way, Ben Reilly.
It's a costume. It's not. These things are drawn by people who just be like, well, this looks cool.
Yeah. It doesn't. I'm sorry.
It's a different look, Like, I've always liked the Scarlet Spider costume.
You're entitled to your opinion.
I like Kane's Scarlet Spider costume.
The
black
red,
and red one. Yeah.
Yeah. See,
which actually now I'm just picturing the ultimate one. Oh yeah, no, now I'm seeing it. It's like the red top, the red head.
Yeah.
The black head that goes down and like pretty much the red suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Another. I really liked Superior Spider-Man.
That one, you know what?
Like, you want to talk black and red?
Yeah, I never really saw the differences until reading Spider-Verse.
Right.
Because when you see the costumes side by side, you're like, oh, okay.
Again, if I remember correctly, he has his fucking... Doesn't he have gauntlets on the outside?
He's got some sort of gauntlet, yeah.
And I'm like, motherfucker, what are you doing?
Well, actually, at that time, wasn't he... Because, so Spider-Man went through that metamorphosis where he gained the organic web shooters. And being that was Peter Parker's body?
No, he wasn't, at that... That's not when he was, that's not when he was Superior Spider-Man.
Really? Did they retcon that again?
He had the organic.
One more day.
I think he had the organic webbing.
In the other.
I do know he had it in the Ultimate Universe. He had.
You're saying Peter Parker?
Yes,
right.
Peter Parker had organic webbing in Ultimate Universe. Right. I think very briefly he had the. I think when the first Sam Raimi movie was released, they gave it to him, and I hate the organic webbing.
Right.
And this is an argument I have with people over and over. They're like, well, it makes sense because spiders make the webbing organically.
Right, yeah.
But at the same time, it's also taking away of showing you how fucking smart this 16-year-old kid is.
Understand 100%.
He's like Tony Stark smart.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, this kid put this fluid together.
Exactly.
Like, that's the point.
And these shooters that are under his glove, not above it.
Sometimes, yeah.
Just like
No, you're right. Absolutely right.
I hate the organic webbing.
You know what? I think it was just. I don't want to get conspiracy theory, but it might have just had to do something with just convenience for writing sakes. Every so often, I'm sure the writers or the artists have to be just like, wait, doesn't Spider-Man run out of fluid? And they're just like, nah, don't worry about it.
But you see, that's the other thing though, is because yes, he has ran out of fluid.
Right.
So then he has to figure out new ways of beating the villain.
Sure.
I know
he's got to compensate for that. And
exactly.
Prepare. Yeah.
Which I dig.
Right.
Because again, it shows you how fucking smart he is.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. What other costumes you think you like? So you like the Superior Spider-Man costume?
I like Mayday.
Right. Okay.
Mayday Parker.
Right.
From
M2 universe.
M2 universe.
So
yeah.
that's basically in another universe. Peter and Mary Jane marry, obviously, have a kid. The kid grows up with spider abilities, daughter, and she run around as a new Spider-Man or Spider-Girl.
Yeah.
I think it was called.
I like that costume because it actually combines Peter's classic look, and it also combines Ben Reilly's look as well. Because if I remember, Ben Reilly was running around with the spider, and the spider was longer than what Peter's is. So
it took up like pretty much the whole upper torso.
Yeah.
As opposed to like just the chest.
Exactly.
Yep.
Where
I
it
know
looks
that specifically.
It actually looks like a spider, not a tick.
I guess, yeah.
So,
what about so 2099? That's another iconic.
A very iconic.
Right.
I liked
definitely different.
Very more
I think
vicious
he can fly
looking
too, right? Does he have that power or some shit?
Or he has like boosters or some shit like that.
Right. Okay.
Does he use organic webbing or does he have shooters? I'm not too familiar.
Again,
I never read
with
the
it being
2099. I never read 2099. Like any of it.
Science,
Like
magic.
Yeah, I never read. Spider-Man, X-Men, none of it. I never read.
Gotcha. That's an untapped world.
Yeah, I mean, let's jump right into it since we're talking costumes. Spider-Verse, you got to see a whole slew of different costumes.
Oh yeah.
Spider-Ham.
Yep.
Which is great.
Tom's favorite.
I like the Spider-Monkey.
That was a weird thing. I don't know where the hell that came from.
You had the 6-armed Spider-Man, which is pretty cool to see because it was just like. Yeah, because I experimented on myself, but I stopped at a certain point. Unlike in 616, where he becomes the man Spider.
Sure, we talked about him in the video game discussion a little bit, but Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah,
I love that look.
Yeah, I liked it, and the fact that he uses
the fucking gaslight.
He uses guns, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I believe he has 2 revolvers.
Yeah,
which is very was odd.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of how to do shit back in the day. Exactly. He wasn't smart to build the web fluid, so this is how he operates.
Yeah, which again I didn't mind. You did get to see. I'm going to butcher the name. Ezekiel, because he was Old Man Spider, the one that was wearing like the kind of like the leather jacket. And the hood.
Yes.
So you got to see, you got to see him, which I kind of dig that look.
This might be Spider-Verse spoilers. Just
fuck it, it's been out for like
I thought that was an Uncle Ben. Because I know definitely was an Uncle Ben in the irradiated world.
Yes, there was an Uncle Ben. Maybe
but I thought that was an Uncle Ben because he saw Peter die.
It was right in that
in the irradiated one.
In the irradiated.
All right, I might be getting confused. All right, so that was.
Because I remember Peter Parker 616 took off his mask,
right,
and he was just like, "Oh shit, Ezekiel, what the hell?" He goes, "Well, I took up the mantle."
Right. Okay.
When you died in my universe.
Right. That's all right. So I'm thinking the same story, but just different person. Got it.
I'm gonna jump a little bit.
Okay.
Like Spider-Man does.
Oh yeah, he does. He does do the jumps.
Stories, like.
Okay.
So
we're talking Spider-Verse.
Yes.
We talked about Spider Island. I think I like Spider Island more than Spider-Verse. I like the concept of Spider-Verse. I like the execution of Spider Island.
Okay. I could see that.
Yeah.
Um,
Other things like Maximum Carnage we talked about during the comic book arc story episode. I didn't talk about the clones, baby, but I'll talk about it real quick. So the first graphic novel I ever
fucking clones,
the trade paperback that I've gotten was the original Clone Saga, and that was confusing as shit.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at more modern comics and the cartoons, and I'm like, Spider-Man was cloned? Get the heck out of here! That was right before the more infamous Clone Saga pops up. Mm-hmm. But I just love the whole the original core of the Clone Saga with the Jackal being jealous and clones Gwen Stacy and then finds out that Peter Parker's Spider-Man, so then he's got 2 Spider-Men. I dig that. The way it all went, personally, I like because it's just so stupid and so what the hell's going on? But just I like that, and it did. Yes, it got you characters like Ben Reilly and Kane, and brought the Jackal back into some sort of prominence, and clone of Gwen Stacy, and it did end up bringing back Norman Osborn. What the fuck? So, yeah, because of me being a Spider-Man fan, when that was out, it does have a portion of my Spider-Man love.
Mm-hmm.
But I know the hate it gets. I don't respect the hate it. I understand it.
Okay.
I get it. It ain't great, but
I
like it.
I hate clones.
Why did it have to be clones? There's actually, in the Spider-Man game, this isn't a spoiler, but all the different costumes, they have like a unique power that unlocks.
Okay.
The Scarlet Spider costume has a ability to make like holographic doubles.
Yes. Yeah. I saw that.
There's actually banter between. It's probably just Peter Parker just talking to himself.
Okay, obviously.
But he keeps going like, "Oh, they're holograms, not clones. They're not clones." Like
one of my
like that
favorite
shit like that.
One of my favorite things, like speaking of clones, is in Spider Island when Mary Jane's like, "If this is a clone thing, I'm moving back to L.A."
See,
like fuck this.
It's such a joke. That it's
even
like,
the writers,
even the writers are like, yep, we know we got to poke fun with ourselves. There was one storyline I didn't get a chance to read, which is almost like a culmination of all this clone nonsense. Not culmination, because I'm sure they wanted it dead and buried. The clone conspiracy, and obviously I know what happens plot wise, but I'm just curious to see how it plays out. That's it. So you got anything from the nation as far as do you have any Spider-Man stories that you can come up with?
Gwen Stacy, the death of Gwen Stacy.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. That's
which
iconic.
Well, I mean, I don't like Gwen Stacy.
Right.
I'm Mary Jane through and through.
Okay.
I think Gwen Stacy would have held him back, but yeah, Death of Gwen Stacy, iconic.
Right.
Because that's pretty much Spider-Man's like one of his first kills. Like, even though he doesn't really kill the Green Goblin,
right? I understand.
But he does kind of kill the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Anything that J. Michael Straczynski, his amazing Spider-Man run, and I mean his tribute to the 9/11.
Oh, okay, right.
That is such a fantastic written story.
Sure.
I read that like every year. Ultimate is fantastic. Like the Ultimate run.
Sure.
Holy shit! Like
it was Bendis, right?
Bendis and like
badly
just
doing the art.
Yep.
At least initially.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was a good modern spin. All the Ultimate Universes are just like modern spin on the classic formula of all the Marvel heroes.
I read Spider-Man Reign.
Okay.
Which took place in the future, where he's like, he swore off being Spider-Man.
Right. Yeah.
But then he's like just brought back in.
Sure.
And I think Osborn's president, and Venom, of course, is all involved and
right.
Very good.
Sure.
Dark as
from what I understand.
Dark as shit. Like
yeah.
Like he keeps talking to like Mary Jane, even though she's not there. So
right.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that's an infamous
classic. Kraven's Last Hunt.
Yes, Kraven's Last Hunt, which you finally read.
Yes,
you being the biggest Kraven mark.
Yeah, I know. Shut up.
But yeah, Kraven's Last Hunt is fantastic, and I'll say it again. Like, it takes a nonsense villain and gave him so much substance in like 3 issues. Like, it's a short run.
Yeah.
But it pushes like that's Kraven's push right there. What else? We
also have Identity Crisis, which...
Identity Crisis, if I remember correctly, that was when something came out. It wasn't Civil War. I think someone framed Spider-Man for doing something bad. So basically, Peter Parker couldn't be Spider-Man anymore. So between the 4 comics that they had running around... Oh, God,
that's when you had Dusk.
Yep, they dedicated one of those to a different comic. Yeah, Dusk, Ricochet, Prodigy, and... fuck, I don't remember. Fuck.
Well, you were just making the crap sound, so it's probably crap.
Alright, Dusk, Prodigy,
Alright, well,
Ricochet.
he thinks of that. Nation, we also had...
I don't remember.
Maximum Carnage,
yep,
obviously on the list.
That,
Maximum Carnage will always be there.
Arc. But yeah, definitely. I don't think that gets a lot of credit because a lot of people fucking died. I'm talking about just civilians and shit like that. But like that should have been like a big thing. That was like, hey, didn't a whole bunch of people get murdered? And I don't know if Carnage has ever been treated with so much more weight since.
Yeah. Marvel Knight Spider-Man was good.
That was the when he was running with Daredevil or shit like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was awesome. Spider-Man Deadpool is gets a lot of love.
Yep.
I hear that series is pretty good. Superior Spider-Man.
Yep.
Back in Black.
Right.
Which I believe is when he wears the black costume when Aunt May gets...
That was post-Civil War, wasn't it?
Yes.
Right,
yeah, that was
his
like
identity
very...
was revealed, yeah.
You know, and... You know, let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about Miss May Parker.
Okay.
And the bullshit that happened after she got shot. Because, you know, she gets shot. She's dying.
Okay.
You know. Then the deal happens.
Oh, okay, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, pretty much Mary Jane makes the decision.
Sure.
To pretty much, Mephisto comes and he's just like, yo.
The devil.
The devil. The goddamn devil. He's like, look, I can make her better. She's like, what do you want, my soul? And he's like, no. He's like, annul your marriage to Spider-Man. She does it instantly because she knows how much, you know, May
means to Peter, yeah.
And I'm just like, let the bitch die. Let the old bitch die. You know what? He can never be happy. Like, even in
That's the point.
House of M, he had happiness, and it was taken away from him.
That's the point,
You know,
man.
Uncle Ben was alive. He was married to the whore, Gwen Stacy. I will call her a whore because of what she did.
What was it, Sins Past or something, I think it was called?
She banged Harry. Norman Osborn had 2 bastard twins that were aging rapidly because, you know, his goblin jizz was too powerful, and, you know, God damn it, fuck you, Gwen Stacy.
Wow.
And
all right.
You know, and I remember reading that issue, and Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy tells Mary Jane this, and finally Mary Jane's just like, you know, it's the height of the story, and Peter is sitting there like sitting, you know, looking out the window of their apartment, and he rips off the wall that he's leaning on because he's just so pissed at,
sure, yeah,
you know, what he thought was his true love. Which, come on, you got Mary Jane, which, by the way, I've talked about it. They've rectified, which I'm happy about, but I'm sure they'll rip that away from him.
Yep, it was Mysterio.
You fucking Mysterio. Hobgoblin Saga came up randomly.
I'm unfamiliar with this one. I imagine it's like kind of the height of the Hobgoblin doing
you think?
shit. Derp. But like as far as like, so I did want to mention that I know Craven's your boy. Is Craven your favorite? You don't have to say greatest Spider-Man villain, but is he your favorite Spider-Man villain?
Man, it's a toss up between him and Venom. Like,
that's a good choice.
It's a toss up.
Right.
But I know Hobgoblin is your...
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I'm a big Hobgoblin fan. I like that, you know, he doesn't necessarily have that personal connection with Peter Parker as much as Norman Osborn does, or could potentially have if they even know each other's identity anymore. I don't remember. But Hobgoblin just wants to fucking...
Just
wants
a
menace.
Destroy.
That's it, yeah.
That's all he is.
I like that, like, I think it's the current version is done, the mantle's held up by Phil Ulrich. Which is Ben Ulrich's kid.
Ulrich's nephew.
Oh, yes, you're right. And also, he was the good Green Goblin.
Right, and I believe he's also Peter's roommate.
Probably.
Or was Peter's roommate?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, because I think they both worked at the Daily Bugle or something, so they must have ran into each other and stuff like that. But yeah, and like I read that whole saga too, the Green Goblin solo book.
Okay.
Which just was basically Phil Yarrick running around in a high-tech goblin suit that he found post Harry Osborn. And I think he went all the way up to like the Onslaught saga, and then he lost the powers or something like that, but gained them back, and now he's the Hobgoblin. He has a fucking sword now, because why not?
Why not?
And also Mark Hamill in the cartoon. That's what did it.
And also let's talk about Red Goblin.
Dude, I've heard about
what
this,
the
man.
fuck? Like,
so
I first heard about it, and I was just like, "What? Oh, wait. So Norman Osborn is insane.
Sure, yeah.
Like
on a good
clinically
day.
insane. Yeah. So let's give him the Carnage symbiote, which makes the person even more insane. Like, I'm sure he killed Cletus Cassidy for it. I'm sure he did. I haven't
I
read
don't
it.
know how that works anymore. Like, I really don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, they've really changed the, like, the vent, like, they're really, Marvel's really focusing on the symbiotes.
Well, yeah,
You know,
I'd imagine.
like, they had, like, I hear the new Venom series is incredible.
Yeah, I've been getting, like, recaps and shit.
They have another series called Vietnam,
Okay.
where it's a bunch of Vietnam, you know, soldiers. They all have the Venom symbiote. And I'm like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely like retconning a lot of the Venom lore or symbiote lore that we've gotten up until this point, but it's handling it so well from my perspective and perspectives of longtime fans and current readers that I'm all for it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like this is great. Like, it's not just a fucking orb Spider-Man found. It was a member of a race of enslaved maniac creatures that, you know, just was all over the Marvel Universe up until the point, up until Secret Wars, and then Spider-Man brings it to Earth, and we know the rest, basically. Venomize is good, too. I have to let you borrow that.
Definitely.
That's a quick read.
I mean, what are you looking forward to the most from this game?
I want the more villains. I really want this to be, if this could be the Arkham for Spider-Man, I would be on cloud 9. What I've seen so far, I really like. Like, I really,
I'm not watching anything.
But, like,
anymore.
I mean, as far as just knowing, like, the characters. Yeah. You know, which villains are involved.
Right, yeah.
Like, because I said it before, I love the costumes, I love the lore, and I love the villains. And the costumes, we know what's going to have.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the 3 fucking pre-order ones, plus Scarlet Spider, plus the Steve Ditko, plus, you know, there's going to be a symbiote in there.
Fucking those, better be. Or just the black costume.
Yeah.
Just the black costume. I don't care.
But having the villains there, like, that's something else that makes it, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I thought the Arkham series did great. Like, you pulled fucking Calendar Man and Professor Pig and all these other guys together, and it was just maybe for, like, 2 missions, but they treated him with such respect that, like, I want that. Like, I want to chase the Beetle through the city. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Fuck it. That'll take 2 hours of my life in a game that's 20 hours.
Sure, why not?
Hell yeah, man.
Because we know Miles is in it.
Right. Well, what about you? What are you excited about?
I mean, just how beautiful it looks.
Dude, yeah.
Minus
it looks fantastic.
You know, minus the puddles not being
puddles,
perfect.
you know what? I'm going to try to get over it. But it's going to take some.
The fighting system. I'm really looking
Which really makes me, because
to.
I know a lot of the fighting systems in the previous games were kind of lame.
Yeah.
And Arkham was fantastic. Why not more games have copied it?
Yeah.
Straight up. It boggles my mind. But this is getting there.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's not there, I don't know. I haven't played it.
I'm sure it is.
Yep.
Obviously, the story, like we said. Just everything. Like, I really am. I mean, we've said it before about the wrestling event. I'm all in.
Yep.
I mean, I don't normally pick up, like, season passes, but
you definitely
when I pick up, I'm gonna pick up the season pass for this because it's a must.
Yeah.
It's a must-have, and I predicting it right now. This could be my game of the year.
I also have Smash Brothers, but dude, I can play a Smash Brothers game once every 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, hell yeah, this is great.
But
Spider-Man comes around. Unfortunately,
once in a blue moon.
Too far and few between.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So I mean, I really just cannot wait, and it just looks so smooth. And now I'm wondering, like, are they gonna do something with, like, the web fluid? Like, I haven't read anything.
I don't know, man.
But like I said, I've been really good at not reading anything else.
Sure.
Because I'm just kind of like, I don't want anything else spoiled for me.
Right.
I don't.
No, I mean, we're less than a week away.
Yeah.
At this point, you know, I might check reviews out when they come out just to get me an idea, but the amount of hype and rave reviews or previews that this game is getting, I feel like it's going to hit a very high mark.
I agree 100%.
Either way, I'm not going to get tempered. I'm just curious, you know, like, I'm just going to be like, oh, okay, like, what is that? Even if it was like an 8, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to, again, disparage games that aren't 8s that are still fantastic, but you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, man, why didn't you get a 10?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it is still a licensed game that has a lot of hurdles to hit.
Sure, yeah.
But, I mean, you look at Arkham. That was a high benchmark.
Arkham is the benchmark for this game right now.
Agreed.
So I think Insomniac
Definitely
has done a good job.
Yep.
I mean, the one thing I'm wondering is, do we see Miles in the costume? Or do we think that will just be one of the costumes?
We'll have to say.
I'd like to see Miles. I'd like to play as Miles. I was hearing one of the DLC things is it's a Black Hat mission.
Okay.
Like running around the city doing Black Hat stuff.
Sure.
I know there's a Mary Jane
Black Hat stuff.
I know there's a Mary Jane mission, which is a lot of the stealthy shit.
Right.
Because I don't do stealth missions. I usually just go in.
Don't.
I've
seen him play. Play Arkham Knight.
I go full in, fist hard, ask questions later.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's what I do. So Spider-Man. Can't wait. It's gonna be fantastic.
It's gonna be amazing.
Spectacular.
It's gonna be unlimited.
It's gonna be the ultimate game.
Sensational, even. Web of. So, Nation, just like speaking of webs, we're going to wrap this episode up like a little fly caught in our webs. You know? Oh, boy.
You're all little flies trapped in our webs.
So, what the hell are we talking about next week?
We will get back to you, Nation.
Yeah, follow us on the social medias. You're going to find out what we're going to be talking about.
Absolutely. It's a surprise.
It is a surprise for everyone involved. That's
Absolutely.
That's something else, right? You totally expect us to be prepared and shit like that.
Never.
Just like this outro, because this outro is just fucking stuttering, stammering mess. So hit us up on social media, twitter.com/rudeboys469, facebook.com/rudeboys469. If you want to hit us up on the email, on the Gmail, rudeboys6969@gmail.com. Our YouTube channel, which we will be streaming to for the Spider-Man episode. So take a look on that. bit.ly/rudeboysrudetube. And if you want to listen to us and subscribe to us on the lovely, lovely, lovely Podbean network, we are at rudeboys.podbean.com.
Flick it.
All of these links are located in the information bar and the information tab or whatever the hell you're listening to this through on the podcast. And everything's right there. If you want to hit us up separately on social media, I am on Twitter. This is Chris. At Tesherms, TEH_SHERMS.
Dave Bautista, you crybaby bitch. If you want to hit me up directly, you can get me at Tommy_Cash with a K, you little bitch.
And Nation, that has been the Rude Boys Power Hour Plus.
Spider-Man.
For this episode, all about Spider-Man.
Like every other episode.
I know, yeah. Now we focus on Spider-Man. Now I don't think we're gonna talk about Spider-Man. We're gonna be talking.
Yeah,
about
we're gonna always talk about Spider-Man.
All right, so see you next Spider-Man episode.
Peace.
This has been a Wall Street Bangers production.